Hey guys, I'm here. Hope you're having a great day. And today we have another found footage style horror story for you. So sit back and relax. Don't think too much about the fact that the sky is split open and bleeding. I am sure it's nothing to be concerned about. So let's get started. Narration. I moved into the apartment last week. It was cheap, too cheap. But I didn't ask questions. I needed to start over. We open on our protagonist. He's just moved into his new apartment and he walks through the door. It's clear that the apartment has been empty for quite some time and dust fills the air. As he continues walking forward, light streams in through the window and it illuminates dust particles dancing in the air. There are boxers stacked on the floor, and it appears our protagonist has a lot of unpacking to do. He looks around at the single light bulb hanging from the ceiling. It swings slowly in the breeze from the open window. Narration. The first night was quiet, until I heard a soft purring. I thought maybe a neighbor's cat, but it was in my room. Our protagonist lies down in bed and pulls the covers up to his chin. He stares up at the ceiling, unable to see anything in the dark. We can see 2 points of light glowing in the darkness. They appear to be coming from underneath the door across the hall. Could they be coming from a crack in the door or maybe a keyhole? Our protagonist seems to think it might be a cat and attempts to rationalize away his fear. But the sound gets louder and he grows increasingly uncomfortable. Narration. I checked the clock. 3:33 a.m. Classic horror timing, right? Our protagonist gets out of bed and begins walking towards the door. He shines his phone screen directly at the camera. It reads 3:33 a.m. He turns off the phone screen and the camera blurs slightly as if to mimic his vision. The sound of the purring follows him throughout his apartment. Narration. I laughed, but the purring, it got closer. Our protagonist walks further down the hallway. We can hear the purring getting louder and more intense. He approaches the end of the hall and turns the corner. He finds himself staring directly at an old antique mirror. His reflection is identical to the one we saw earlier, except his face appears more ashen. Narration. I followed the sound. No cat, just a mirror. My reflection blinked when I didn't. As he stands there staring at his reflection, the purring becomes a deafening roar. He takes a step back, and it almost seems like he vanishes into the darkness. We see his reflection still standing there, but it turns to face the opposite direction. Its eyes seem to glow an eerie red color and it winks. Narration. Since then, I've started remembering things that didn't happen. A child's laugh in the bathroom. Scratches on the walls that weren't there yesterday. Our protagonist is laying in his bed once again, but the room is filled with a nauseating green light. The door across the hall slowly begins to creep open. We can only see shadows moving in and out of the room. A series of quick cuts shows claw marks scratching up the wall. Narration. There's one door I didn't open. It was sealed shut when I moved in. Now, it's open. Our protagonist is walking toward the closed door. It spans the width of the narrow hallway and light leaks from underneath the crack in its doors. The closer he gets, the more we notice strange symbols painted onto the door. We're not sure what they mean, but something tells us we don't want to find out. Suddenly, the door swings open, revealing an inky blackness beyond. Narration. Every night, the same sounds, the same time, the same fear. I tried to leave, but the elevator brought me back to the same floor. Our protagonist runs to the elevator, desperate to escape this nightmare. He presses the down button, and when the elevator arrives, he steps inside. The numbers above the elevator flicker rapidly, and he hides his face behind his shirt. When he looks back up, the numbers have stopped moving and the doors have opened. But instead of opening to the outside, He finds himself back in the same hallway. The door is still open and the symbols on it seem to pulsate in the darkness. Narration. Last night, I saw it. A shape tall, pale, hollow eyes. It didn't move until I blinked. Our protagonist is making his way down the hallway. He asks, carrying a large wooden stake in his hands, and he holds it in front of him like a weapon. We see a tall figure at the end of the hallway. Its body is illuminated by a green light, which casts an eerie glow on its face. The figure is very still and does not react to our protagonist at all. However, when our protagonist blinks, the figure takes a step toward him. Narration. You were never alone. Our protagonist screams and raises the stake in front of him like a spear. He lunges toward the figure, but it disappears before his eyes. He brings the stake down on the ground and lets out a sigh of relief. Our protagonist is back in his bed and he breathes heavily, attempting to calm himself down. Suddenly, he feels something brush against his leg. He jumps up and shines his flashlight on the floor. It appears to be a cat. He picks it up and cradles it in his arms. He strokes its fur and it purrs. Narration. It whispers when I sleep. As our protagonist continues to pet the cat, his breathing slows down. The cat's purring gets louder and louder, and then we can start to hear whispering voices in the background. The purring overpowers everything. Our protagonist's eyes become droopy. The whispering grows louder, and the faces on the ceiling grow larger and more defined. Narration. Then it told me, you never moved in. You never left the last place. I was never alive to begin with. Our protagonist opens his eyes. He's no longer in his bed. Instead, he finds himself in a hospital room. Flashbacks reveal that he was injured and rushed to the hospital several weeks prior. As the memories come flooding back, he realizes he never actually moved into the apartment. His entire experience there was simply a figment of his imagination. Final whisper and logo scene, we fade to black. A deep, distorted purr is heard. It almost sounds like a lullaby. Then the voice whispers, and now, every night, the purring returns. To remind me, I belong to the apartment. The purring intensifies. We see text fade into the screen. It reads, Purrs and nightmares. An echo and glitch effect surrounds the text. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more content.